into the Unwritten Rule Podcast, your number one stop shop for all sports and media and news. I'm your host, Monzi. I'm solo doing some college football. First, I'm going to start off with my favorite team, of course. But please make sure y'all leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And also check out our Instagram page and our TikTok page, where we will be having some sports picks on there for you guys that are gamblers, bettors, whatever you guys want to call yourself. I hope you win your money, though. First, we're going to do a quick recap of the 2023 season. So, Oklahoma finished 10-3. They lost to Kansas, Oklahoma State, and Arizona. All three of those losses were pretty bad. All three of those losses, fans walked over and act like it was nothing. Oh, we'll be back again next season. The schedule was pretty easy last season. It was so easy that we should have been in a Big 12 championship game. It was so easy that we didn't even have to play K State. It was so easy that we didn't have to play Texas Tech either, who just gets in our way and we have to find ways to tackle them for no reason in football games. Yes, the season was that easy. We lost to Kansas and Oklahoma State. Kansas doesn't have a quarterback. Jason Bean is not the quarterback. Jalen Daniels, maybe. Maybe Jalen Daniels is. Um, Oklahoma State, you don't lose to Gundy. I'm sorry. There's no point in any lifetime of any player. Gundy does not beat anybody. I don't think he ever will beat anybody. Okay? So that's the main thing we have to realize right now is why are we losing to teams that aren't as physical as us and don't have a good enough roster as the University of Oklahoma? That's the issue. Okay? And those things will be looked at in this episode. That's why we're here. Thank you for tuning in. With the Arizona loss, it was the first time Jackson Arnold made his first career start. My only issue with it is Seth Luttrell. At no point in a football game should you have a true freshman throwing 45 passes. What game plan was thought of before that game started? Why would you go out there and do that? Why would you go out there and have a true freshman throw 45 passes in a game, act like the guy didn't throw any of these interceptions and turn the ball over? That's already crazy enough. I do blame some of that on Jalil Farouk, but we'll get into that another time. The main thing is Oklahoma has a problem competing in football games, and they also have a problem with situational coaching. The situation of the coaching is bad. We're wasting timeouts, and then when it's the fourth quarter, we don't have any timeouts. That's horrible situational coaching. We're calling plays at the wrong times, for example. We'll get a first down for 30 yards and decide we want to chunk the ball down 40 yards down the field. We don't have good situational play calling. We don't have good situational coaching. It's pretty bad. It's mediocre at that. Last season, Oklahoma ranked 86th in team sacks. That's not good. Brent Venables can't do anything without a pass rush. At Clemson, he had a pass rush. Yes, he did. Dexter Lawrence, Shaq Lawson, I think Dominique Alexander, something like that, I believe. And he had Cleveland Farrell and Christian Wilkins. All those guys were on his D line. They all were drafted in the first round. Oh, he also had Vic Beasley too. I don't know what Vic Beasley's doing in the NFL right now, but yeah, he had a pass rush, and he's always had a defense, and he's always had physicality. Why doesn't Oklahoma look like that? We don't get to the quarterback. The guys you rave about, Ethan Downs. Ethan Downs totaled 4.5 sacks. Two of those sacks came against Texas. One of those sacks came against uh, UCF and Arkansas State. Trace Ford, your other DN, had zero. Those two guys aren't good. They're middle of the pack. Some of these players that we play at Oklahoma can't start at other teams. For example, Woody Washington. He has 5 interceptions on his career in 19 pass deflections in his career. In 2 seasons, a 2023 second team All SEC cornerback at Arkansas, Dwight McGlover, he had 23 and 18 interceptions, 23 pass deflections and eight interceptions. Woody Washington wouldn't start at Arkansas. It's plain as day. He wouldn't start at a lot of teams. Now, is he talented? Yeah, maybe. I guess he is. We keep giving him a shot every single year. We don't know what he is. I can tell you what he is. He's not good. He may be supposed to be a safety. Maybe. On a good day. But he can't start over Peyton Bowen, Billy Bowman, Kendall Dobie. He can't start over those guys. He don't have a spot. Gentry Williams can't stay healthy. Oklahoma. How does well I want to know this. How do we rank 109th in pass yards allowed and USC is still ahead of us in that? Isn't that the main reason why we got this guy as our head coach? And not only did we get Brent Venables as our head coach, we also found a way to get somebody who was an assistant DB coach with Nick Saban and Jay Valle. What did Nick Saban teach you? He couldn't have taught you much. Literally, he couldn't have taught you much. And that's not gonna work for us. It's never gonna be good for us. And then Brent Venables, please, going into this next season, do not play Kanik. I don't give a damn if there's a tornado, whatever. Kanik, you need to tell Kanik it's a tornado warning every single game. Just so he can stay his ass in the locker room. He come out there playing weak like that anymore, we don't need that. And Venables, you know who's better. Kip Lewis is way better than Kanik could ever think about being. Now, could Kanik be something when he's a senior or a fifth-year player? I don't know. Maybe. I guess he could be. But he's not physical. He doesn't know how to shoot through gaps. He's not the linebacker you want. You might want to move Kanik to a blitzing role. That's kind of what he's good at. We need to start paying attention to what players are good at instead of just implementing them into systems where they're not really good fits in certain areas. Okay? And we need to start realizing that we don't need to swap DBs every single damn play. How can somebody get comfortable in a football game and you take me out? I walk in the football game, I'm already hyped up, I'm already juiced up, I done listened to 30 rap songs with cuss words in them. I'm ready to smack the shit out of somebody, if you ask me. But then you take me out? You take me out after a drive? Like, who's the starter? I don't know. Team players will leave you for that. We're going into the SEC. You don't have time to swap people out every single drive, every single play. You might want to have your 5 guys out there that you know that's going to be out there and play football for 4 quarters and give it their all every single play. We need consistency. We need good in-game coaching. I have no problems with Brent Venables, his character, his charisma. I have no problems with anything like that. He's good. He's a good man. He's somebody that people could relate to, somebody that people would like to see. Yes. 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 But he fails in games. He fails. You don't go up on Texas and then you turn around the second half, you give up 300 yards to a quarterback. That's not good defense. You don't play 15 yards off on Texas receivers. That's not smart. They can catch the ball, miss a tackle, and run for 60. Maybe we should take notes on what we're doing out here. This defense hasn't looked like a Brent Venables defense, not once. We've seen moments. I like that we're getting some turnovers. We couldn't get that with Alex Grinch and Ruffin McNeil, I believe. He couldn't get us anything for sure. But yeah, that looks great. That looks real great. But we're not good as a team. We're not good as a defense. And that's sad. There's no way that USC has a better passing defense than Oklahoma. Alex Grinch, Brent Venable. It's not a conversation. And sadly, it's reality. Brent Venables, you do great recruiting. Now, the thing about recruiting is we don't expect these guys to play it right off the bat immediately. Just because Kanik was Mr. Kansas and this next guy who's supposed to be some quarterback converted, yeah, that's nice. That's nice. We don't need to see them develop them. We need the development, especially where we're going. We need the development. Now we did do good in picking up Dion Burks. That was great. That is great for us. Picking up Dion Burks is great for us. I like that pickup for us. But the thing about Dion Burks is they're gonna do the same thing they did with Stoops. Throw the guy 30 passes in one football game. That won't work. The whole Stoops getting 15 passes in a game or whatever receiver you want to throw it to 15 passes a game, that's not going to work in the SEC. Coaches know who your best players are. At the end of every single game, when Sunday comes, I guarantee you the defensive coordinator has a thick ass packet that thick with all the information on the team that he needs. Your route tree, uh, how you run your route, your head nod. He has it all listed in there. People actually break down football games, and that's how they prepare to play teams the next week. We can't throw 15 passes to the same receiver in one game. That is over with. Now, catch your 6 to 7 passes and have a great time. We need that. But that's not going to happen with us. So, now moving on, we're going to discuss a couple of things. A couple of these games, I should say, in this new schedule that we have in the SEC. I'm not worried about Temple. I'm not worried about University of Houston. I'm not worried about Tulane. Tulane does have a good coach. Hey, look out for Pratt to one day, if Venables doesn't get it together, that will be a coach that I would like to see that OU hires. I think Pratt, well, his name is not Pratt, but whoever Tulane's coach is, please be on the lookout for. Tennessee at home against Josh Heupel and his quarterback that they've been raving about. Truth be honest, this is going to be one of those games that Oklahoma wins, and it won't be pretty though. It's going to be a hectic type of win. It's going to be a hectic win. I don't know how it's going to go. All play out. Because the season hasn't started yet, but I just have a feeling that it's going to be a hectic type of game. It's going to be a good game. I advise everybody to watch that game. It's going to be pretty pivotal as we start to transition fully into the SEC. And then next, Oklahoma goes on the road to Auburn. I think they lose. I think Hugh Freeze finds a way to outcoach Brent Venables. I think that Auburn is the equivalent of this pesty ass Kansas State type of team. Yes, they may not have a quarterback, but when Oklahoma goes on the road, and especially how they looked against Kansas and Oklahoma State, yes, it's a new team. Yes, yeah, all that. Put all that shit to the side. Our coach is still the same. All right. So I don't know what he is and what he isn't going to be, or what game plan he has for us on the field. Um, Auburn could definitely we would be the underdogs in that football game. I wouldn't be surprised if we were listed as the underdogs in that football game. Auburn is looking to literally take our heads off. Yeah. Next we got Texas. Um, it's gonna be a dogfight. I think the game will be somewhat similar to last season. It will just be more clean on yours end. I don't think Ewers would come out frantic, and I don't think that he would need their help from his one of the best head coaches in college football in Steve Sarkisian. But at the end of the day, it's Texas. Anything's possible. When it comes to Texas and OU, anything is possible. All you got to do is come out there, suit up, and have a game plan. You can beat them. Trust me, every single time. With Texas and OU, oh, it's always going to be like that. You don't never know when they want to play. They always want to have this. They those teams have some of the best rosters in college football. They won't dominate shit. I don't understand why they won't dominate anybody. Like, why is Oklahoma and Texas not dominating all those teams that was in the Big 12? Those teams should have been getting blew out by 17 points. It should never even been close. That's the craziness I'm talking about here, man. Um, then Oklahoma plays South Carolina. South Carolina ain't doing nothing. Apparently they figured out they got a quarterback, but South Carolina ain't got no defense. I would not worry about South Carolina. Just play physical, please. All these games, you need to play physical. It doesn't matter who the opponent is. Play physical. We need people who's gonna go out there, swarm to the football. We need 100%. We need blocks laid. We need everything. We need it all. We need physicality. We have to step that up. We can't go out there lackadaisical, missing tackles, missing blocks, um, you know, not able to call audibles at the line of scrimmage, stuff like that. We don't need that type of stuff. We have to get better. We need our DBs to be able to look up and spot the ball, knock the ball down, or make a play on the ball. These teams will pass. These teams will run on us. We have to be better. After the South Carolina game, we have to head to Ole Miss. Uh, I don't know what the hype is, but at Ole Miss, they lost Judkins. That's really all I know for right now. But they do have Jackson Dart. I guess there is a system, but it would be a close game on both ends. Oklahoma would probably lose that game. And then we play Maine. Who cares? That's just a toss-up little football game that we pay somebody so fans can get raved after we lost a couple of games, and fans can think that OU's back or they figured something out. That's just something for you fans to feel good, to soothe out the pain that we are about to endure somehow, some way. Next, we have Missouri on the road. Um, I actually wanted to go to this game. I felt like this game is going to be a pretty good game. My only thing is, uh, I think fans will take this game to into account. This is one of the games that I think fans will actually look at Venables a little different if he lost his football game. I think this is the realization of the program, and I think they'll actually start to, have have an actual eye to what's going on, because you got to have an eye for this stuff. You don't even need the knowledge. You just got to know what you're seeing. And you guys have been seeing it. You just don't want to accept it. We want to be fans. And that's fine to be fans, but we have to be realistic with all this stuff. After the Missouri game, Alabama is coming coming into town. We ain't not finna beat them. We not finna beat them. I'm sorry. I'm calling that right now. Just because Nick Saban's not the head coach anymore, that doesn't mean the dynasty doesn't live on. As you can see, if I'm gonna give you an example. Jimmy Johnson and Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones ruined that and then ruined the franchise for years to go by. Couldn't figure out who to hire, hired Wade Phillips. Couldn't figure that out with Wade Phillips. Hired Jason Garrett. Couldn't figure that out with Jason Garrett. Gave Barry Switzer a short little time period. Couldn't figure that out. Gave Bill Parcells a short time period. Couldn't figure that out. I think we know what Alabama did. They didn't pull a Jerry Jones. We still want to be good. That's what they're trying to make sure that you understand. they're still going to be good. It doesn't matter. They dominated for so long. How could you doubt them? I hate to say it. Yes, they don't have the greatest coach of all time right now, but they still dominated forever. And then what are we going to do? Toss them to the side? They picked up arguably the third best coach right now. I mean, we don't think Dan Lanning's better than Kellen DeBoer, do we? I hope not. That's horrible if we thought that. And after that, to finish it all off, we have LSU. I don't know how good LSU is going to be, honestly. Um, these are two coaches that's arguably the same type. If you think about it, uh, Brian Kelly and Brent Venables, those coaches are very much alike. Brian Kelly's not no LSU guy. Coming from Notre Dame, Brian Kelly ain't got no fire in him. He doesn't match that culture whatsoever. I wish they would have kept Ed Orgeron, but I understand he just a raspy voice yelling coach that really don't know what he calling out there for real. They just had a great team, and that team is probably one of the best college football teams ever to play, especially when you beat Alabama, you beat Florida. You just give the beats to everybody. And you gave the beats to Georgia too, I believe. Yeah, that's a cold blooded team. That 2019 LSU team is cold blooded. Every celebration, every touchdown, every pass, every throw, every tackle, every interception. It was just beautiful to look at. So looking at these games, we got a loss to Tennessee. Well, a win. Well, we have Auburn loss, Texas loss. Actually, I don't think we lose to Texas. So I got one loss right now, two loss, three, four, five. Yeah, that's five losses right there. I definitely think that last stretch against that Missouri, really, the last stretch is bad because you got Ole Miss. You skip over the main game. You got Missouri, Alabama, and LSU. That's rough. That's a rough one right there. I mean, already just that little small three in November with Missouri, Alabama, and LSU. Oh man, and then we play Alabama at home. Oh my goodness, that could be a disrespectful loss. Like, I don't know what we can do as a program, but we have to figure out some type of pass rushing immediately today. And we also have to know who we're going to start. We can't go into the season not knowing who our starters are. We did that mess at our running back position in 2023 season when we couldn't figure out between Walker and Sawchuk. Sawchuk almost rushed for like 170 yards against Florida State. Florida State had a top 25 defense that year, I believe. What more did you need to know about who your starting running back is? You know who your starting quarterback is, though, but you couldn't tell me who your starting running back is. Oh, and the top make it all sound good. Sawchuk almost had 200 yards in the football in a bowl game against Arizona. We gotta wake up and pay attention to what we're looking at right now. The state of Oklahoma football is it's okay. We're recruiting good. We need to build on what we have, but we definitely need a pass rush. We should not be recruiting. Oh man, I'm talking about transfer portal Deion Sanders. Bring that bag, looted, Louis, whatever. I don't know, man. You need to spend some time in the transfer portal and find some pass rushers immediately, because those our secondary guys, they don't know what they doing. Our corners don't, at least. Our safeties are great, but well, they're not great, but they're average. They're good. And then you also have to think about the linebacker. Those linebackers got too much going on. That D line that we had last season couldn't get off a block nor seal some gaps up. So the linebackers do have a little bit of time to pick a hole. to pick a gap to come through. And offensively, I'm not worried about the offense. I like what we can do on offense. I like the fact that Seth Luttrell is in his first year of calling plays for us. That's fine. I'm not really worried about Oklahoma offense. It's just what type of razzle dazzle do you have for us, and what is your real system? I want to see that. And I see that we got this tight end Bauer Sharp. Didn't get to see much out of him in the spring game. I don't even think he got the ball in the spring game. Why hype us up over people that we know that you're not gonna show us, showcase us a little something. Give us a little something. Give them a go route. It was already bad enough the defense was just letting the offense run up and down the field all game in the first place. And yes, it is a scrimmage technically, but yeah, we need some better stuff than that. Like we shouldn't be seeing blown coverage in the spring game. Uh, this season, I don't think it's our season. Sadly, we could make the 12-team playoff. I mean, we probably got like a 15% chance of that. I can't give us really more than 15% because it's a huge surprise to me. But yeah, we possibly could, but I don't know. Oklahoma has a lot to clean up, but until they get a pass rush, I don't think we'll really see the identity of this Brent Venables defense, and I don't think we'll see the real identity as a team as a whole. Those are the main parts of the defense that he's always strived on: the cornerback position and the defensive line. Linebackers come and go for him. Safeties, they come and go for him. But the corners and that D line, he knows that's what he needs. And I think he's been recruiting some of those guys. I know he picked up David Stone, but like I said, it's only you only have so much time, Venables. I don't know if they're going to keep giving you 2 seasons, so you might not get a chance to develop these guys. But you also have to get your in-game coaching better. There's no way that you're losing timeouts before you actually need the timeout. We don't. We understand clock management. Somebody can mess that up. You don't need timeouts to a quick regroup. When they get to the sideline, Venables, the position coaches and you can obviously communicate whatever you need. If it's so much of a problem, you just got to take the guy out. But when it's the second half of a football game, my timeouts are only spent in what quarter? The fourth quarter. All the time, the fourth quarter. And when the run game is going good, Latrell, keep running the ball for us, please. Change it up to an RPO. Don't have Arnold running out that pocket. I don't care how nice he looks running out that pocket. Don't do that. We'll have a long season. But once again, thank y'all for tuning in to the Unwritten Rule podcast. I'm your host, Monzi. I appreciate you guys. Please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.